I'm not saying y'all have to be best friends going out to the
just
club
cordial.
every week.
You know,
just cordial.
Be
you know
able
what I'm
to
saying?
talk
You should
when it's time, when it's necessary. You know, that's really all it's about.
It shouldn't be a hesitation when you need to call to get the children. You know, some women even be scared to do that, like hesitant on inviting the kids somewhere and stuff like that. All of that shit is petty. This is the Mamathon podcast.
I pray my daughter never ever experience no drink. I told her Colgate, baby, gotta keep your teeth straight.
Oh, and on this podcast, we won't be cutting any corners because, like I said before, this the real and the raw views. So please don't be surprised by anything that you may hear, because only feelings that we spare are the kids.
Get on your marathon and run it till it's over with.
This is the Mamathon podcast.
I know a place we can go where you can be yourself and you ain't gotta worry.
Welcome back to the Mamathon podcast. Today's episode is more on a like tip/advice type kick. The co-host today might surprise y'all, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself and then we'll get into today's topics and discussion. So
okay, so I'm Myra, Shamyra, you know, the twins' mom, JC and Jerry. That's all I need to say. I don't know what else to say.
All right, so the icebreaker question for today before we get into the topics is, what are your thoughts on traveling during this time, like during COVID-19? Because, you know, people got sour opinions, people got like good things to say and believe about traveling during this time, but like what are your honest thoughts?
Well, I can't really say bad things because I've traveled during this time. I'm traveling some more again next month. So I have like 2 trips planned already during this time. I mean,
what are some ways that you're not about to let,
no,
right. What are some ways that you're ensuring safety though? So, cause like, you know, we have kids to come back home to.
I make sure I wear my mask, you know, basic, wash your hands and stuff like that. Wear my mask, wash my hands.
What are some places you've gone during the pandemic?
Been to Miami, I went to LA. Where else I went? I've been to Mississippi. That wasn't really too big, but I've been to Houston. I stay in Dallas, so
and you're here now.
I'm here in New Orleans,
right?
So
I 100% agree. Like, well, some places, like I do before I go, I like to look at I look at the stats, the COVID stats and stuff like that. You know, try not to go to like outrageous places.
Yeah, so Miami was outrageous, I guess. But hey, I'm fine.
Wait, what happened though? Y'all, was it shut down or what was y'all able to do?
So we really didn't do that much. I mean, we had fun though, but we just
amongst each other.
Yeah, amongst each other. Like my brother and them was out there, so they had like a mansion and stuff. We was over there most of the time. We went ate a couple of times. We tried to do the boat thing, but we got there and they like lowered the capacity. That's what the capacity to like 6 people. Yeah, it was way more than 6 people out there because we had like 3 boats. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they fucked with us. So we didn't get to do that. Then we had jet skis, and I think it was like a racist thing, to be honest. So, because we had went back out there like to do the jet skis or whatever with another group of people, and we went back to the place and asked them how many people could get on the boat, and they said 10. When we was out there, like everybody was out there, it was like 6 people to each boat, and it holds 34 people each boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it was like a race thing.
It was like a racist thing. Like it was. Because then when we went back to the jet skis, we had reserved like 11 I think it was like 11 jet skis they had reserved. And they only had 2 when we got there. Mm. Yeah, it was so stupid. So they messed with us with that, but we still had fun. It's cool.
If someone would have told you that you and I would be able to have a casual conversation like at any point 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, what would you have thought or what would you have said?
Okay, so me personally, 2 years ago, how old this one was, like 3, 4. It wasn't really a good time
to have said some shit like that.
No, it wasn't a good time. It wasn't really our best times around that time.
Right.
2 years ago. I mean, years before, like maybe a year or so before that, it wasn't that bad. But like 2 years ago, we was like at our worst.
Mm-hmm. I agree. That's why I chose that time in particular. So following up with that question, like we could just basically give everyone who don't know us just an insight on our relationship. So Shamyra and I do share the same baby father. We both have children by this one guy. And this guy. And it's really been a long time, long road, you know what I'm saying, coming. And today's episode is basically just to inform like other young mamas and just mamas in general, because I know like old women who have these type of differences that just still battle with this type of shit. That it can get better, like, especially for the sake of the children. Like, it can definitely get better. It should get better. I ain't judging you if it don't get better, like, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. But this is what we got going on, so this is what I got going on, and this is what we gonna let y'all know about.
I agree.
So, we're not coming here to tell y'all, you know, not really everything that we've overcome, because there's things that we've talked about off air, you know, before coming here. But for the most part, what would you think would be the biggest reason that this is so important, like in today's time, to do things like this?
The kids, our situation, you know, what's going on right now with daddy, or whatever. And yeah, like the biggest thing is the kids, to be honest. They deserve a relationship with each other. Right.
My son is the oldest on both sides. So on his dad's side, he has little sisters on. You know, I have a daughter. So he's big bro on both sides. And honestly, what really brought me to coming around to it is seeing how he interacted with my daughter. And just knowing that he loves his sisters, you know, and just seeing it. And I felt like I was seeing it in person. It was like, why wouldn't I just... And then I'm steady lying to the boy. Like, that was another thing. Like, another reason why I feel like we here. Like, it's because I was tired of lying to my son. I don't know if your children used to ever come to you. Did they ever used to come to you and be like, Ma, can you... And what you would say?
I would say, you're going to see Noah later. We're going to see him later.
Knowing... Nigga don't know when later is. Like, you just gonna have to really see him when and that gets old. Like, you know, my son's 7, and my son will always be like, Mom, can Jason and Jara come over? Mom, can I go by? And I always be like, I'm gonna call this mom annoying. Goddamn well, I'm not about to call this girl. Like, knowing. And so that just got, you know, exhausting. Like, another thing, y'all. It takes for y'all to really take the nigga out the picture. Like, I don't know who need to hear this, but take the nigga out the picture, and then just think about it from a woman's perspective. Just think about it from a woman's perspective, because, yeah, just think about it. Because 9 times, I don't know, I ain't meet too many men who really be admitting to their baby mamas being okay.
No, I don't know. I gotta think. I wasn't in that situation, so, yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't it? I mean, only way I see it's a problem is if he's dealing with the other one. That's what I think.
Oh yeah. But still, then there still has to be a bigger person in the picture.
Correct.
I feel like if he's dealing with one of them, then the other person obviously has to let some shit go.
What I'm saying is, no, like if he have a problem with, like if he have a problem with both of his baby mamas or whatever, like communicating or anything like that, I feel like it will be more so of like I would feel like y'all dealing or something, like, you know, like he dealing with both of us or something, like on that level. Because why he care?
Yeah, why he care if we're in cahoots?
He should be happy about that, like that, you know, that we can get along or whatever.
More to the story. Niggas always somehow. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. So, aside from that, like Shamyra said, she has twin daughters, and tell us a little bit about that. Like, how is that raising two girls that are like basically the same, or are they not basically the same?
They are in some ways, but they are very different. But to be honest, it's more of a challenge now than it was then. It's like it's harder now than it was when they was like little babies.
How?
Like it's so much I have to deal with them. They fight all the time. Keep in mind, I buy them everything of their own. I never make them share, which I feel like I should have. That's something I should have did, like taught them in the beginning. But they're so used to their own stuff, and believe it or not, they still fight over stuff that they have the same. Yes, yes, they fight over that. They fight over stuff like that.
So you really believe that they would be better with sharing if you would have?
Yes, I think that.
You think they would have? You know somebody who tried that with twins?
Yeah, like they have like for example, for Christmas they have 2 Barbie doll houses. They are huge. Like the size of this, like the Barbie doll houses. Like I feel like they should have got 1.
Oh yeah, I think that was a stretch. 2 big Barbie houses.
That's 2 of them.
They definitely have to play at the Barbie house together.
Yes, that's
But they wouldn't have allowed it if you would have just brought 1.
No, they would fight. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's still. Like, I should still just get them 1, you know, something like that, like a Barbie doll house, because they're still going to fight over it, period.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. Like, one time, like, for their little costume, like, they had a police costume. They had, like, handcuffs, right? So, they still be playing with the little handcuffs. So, somehow, JC know which one is hers, even though neither one of them is broke. It's the same color, same exact thing, like exactly the same. So when Jari got it, she's like, "That's hers." I'm like, it really don't matter. Just look at the other one because it's the same.
It's the same thing.
Nothing's wrong with hers either. Like And what else? JC is like a bully. When they were younger, it was the opposite. It was the other way around. Jari was like more dominant. JC is more dominant now. Like she tells Jari what to do. I call
Who's
her
the
boss
oldest?
baby. JC's the oldest. So I call JC like boss baby. Like she's sneaky. She's real sneaky. Very sneaky. She is so sneaky. Yes. Like she'll been a pinch. Like Jari, they tell on each other a lot, which annoys me as well. So any little thing, they come tell me. Like, if I tell JC to sit back, Jari would be like, "Mama, JC not sitting back." And JC would be back there, like, pinching Jari or something. And she would be like...
You think they bored?
Man, I don't know. They don't leave each other, though.
They don't?
No.
So you used to separate them?
Never.
They've never been separated. You always send them off together?
Always send them off together.
You've never separated them?
I've never separated them, ever. It don't feel
like, not even if one is, like, napping and one won't go to the store. What about that?
Well, that's different, I guess. Like, cause,
so what's the longest they've ever spent away from each other?
Maybe, like, an hour or so.
Really? Do they be following each other's sentences and shit?
No.
So they don't got like twin telepathy?
No, they don't have that.
But just an hour though?
Just like an hour, so it's not like never a whole day or half a day, nothing like that. No.
You think they gonna grow up to stay together, like live together? Or you see them?
No, I don't think so because I'm gonna separate them in school. I'm gonna like
make sure they're in different classes and shit.
I want them to do that because they need to learn, Because JC is more. She's more attentive in school, like, and I find her, like, telling Jari the answers and all that, like, I don't want that, no, Jari needs to learn on her own, like, she do that, like, she'll tell her, I'll be like, no, JC, I'm asking Jari, like, you go ahead, so, yeah, I don't want them,
what about college?
College, I don't know, that's gonna be their choice.
Right.
Like, that'll be their choice. I don't know about college. I'm not even trying to think about college. I really gotta send 2 people to college. The same. I gotta send them both to prom at the same time. Like, I'm not
They play sports?
No, not yet. I tried to get them into softball, and it was like they don't want to play softball.
It's hot outside.
So they don't want to do that. They won't play. They won't do gymnastics.
Yeah, you have to put them in air.
Stuff like that. But
it be hot as shit. And you're going to put them in... sports out in Dallas or...
Yeah.
Where is that? Like, yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm going to put them in something. I want them to, like, cheer or something. But I really was trying to do, like, park softball, whatever it's called, at the age.
Be tight.
I was working with this girl. She was telling me about it. They from... I don't know about that. But when I was working with this girl, and she know the people who have the softball team or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was going to sign them up. And when I was telling them, like, you going to play softball, they was like, no, they don't want to play. So I was like, okay, well, then money in my pocket. Don't worry about it. I don't care.
That's how you got to look at shit these days. Like, oh, you don't want to come out to eat? Bet. Money in my pocket. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you want to stay home? Okay, great. Money in my pocket. Like, yeah, definitely. But that's funny though that they act like that. I would think that like twins would be like growing up like that, and then they never spend time away from each other. I would think that.
Girl, they fight all the time. It's like regular siblings. It don't even matter. Like, I guess as they get older, it's gonna be different, dude. Like, I think they're gonna be like trying to double team me when they get older. Like, they ain't gonna tell on each other as much and stuff. Like, that comes with like as they get older though. But like right now,
I hope the children will grow up, because you gotta speak things into existence. But children will grow up with like my son being able to like, really protect his sisters, because I know like a handful, and I count on one hand, of sister and brother relationships that are like solid as fuck. Like most of the time, especially when the brothers be older, no shade or whatever like that. But see, when the brother older, and they be low key hating on the little sisters and shit. And I don't want my son to be that brother. Like, I want him to grow up just knowing this is where it's at. So this is what it's always gonna be. Don't grow up like with no type of distance in between them. And that's something that, like I said, I had to come around to as of recent. Like, after I had my daughter, because... Yeah, and then... Yeah, my son don't play about like, his sisters at all.
One time... Okay, so I had Noah and the twins, and we had went by my daddy. Well, we had met my daddy at one of his friend's house, and a little boy was there, and he had, like, a room, whatever they were in the room. They was playing the game. Noah liked the game, so they was playing the game together, him and the little boy. And the twins was in there. So, the little boy was like... I don't know what the little boy did, but Noah was like, don't talk to my sisters like that. I was like, it's time to go. Period. Let's go.
Period. Back the fuck up.
You know what? It's time to go. Let's go. Come on, Noah. Let's go, twins. We're not about to be fighting here.
And so this is what we need to make sure is fucking solidified. So that's important to...
Don't talk to my sisters like that.
And he's so aggressive behind them. Like, sometimes it gets creepy. Like, sometimes it gets creepy, but I don't be interfering with that in general. Like, if you want to go crazy behind your sister, by all means necessary, go crazy behind them. I want you to, but I can't. I don't want to tell him. I tell him, tell him to protect his sisters. His dad tell him that he has to be protective of his sisters too, and I think that's another reason why he take it so serious.
He's serious. Like, he's serious. Like, he don't be playing. He's so serious.
Like I said, this episode was like a little different episode, so it wasn't really too much. But if you're listening, I hope from this episode, you've realized like it can happen. Like, it can be a working thing. It don't have to be a fucking drama-filled relationship between any of you. Like, if you guys care about the relationship of your children, you know what I'm saying? And I know, like, people, I literally know fucking grown-ass motherfuckers who have children who don't allow them to see their daddy side of other kids. Like, and like I said, by all means necessary, do whatever the fuck you feel is right. You know, different circumstances, it's for different people. But if it's able to be worked out, like if it's shit that it happened, you know, because a lot of shit that was happening on our end was more so emotion filled, and like it's in today's time, nobody not moving off emotions no more. Like what's up? It ain't nothing. All right, ain't nothing. We could go forward with a good fucking life. Like, you know what I'm saying? For these children, for ourselves, for the sake of our peace. So it can happen. Whoever chooses to reach out to whomever, if you're listening to this, if you feel like you need to reach out to somebody, me, Dortez, I encourage you to, because like it's only gonna be the best for your child in the end. So I hope y'all took that from this episode. You got anything you wanna and no fake shit, y'all. Like, that's another thing. Like, no fake shit at motherfucking all. Like I said, we talked about shit off the camera, like off air, like all that. This was after all that. You know what I'm saying? Period. And then we have mutual friends, so that's another thing. Like, we have mutual friends and a lot of mutual friends.
We didn't just meet each other when we had the kids.
Yeah, we didn't just meet each other.
So
maybe that's why.
We've been knowing each other before the kids, so maybe I don't know if that's why.
But we know, but see, that's why. But I feel like we had gone through so much shit. You would have never thought. Like, even though we started off as mutual friends, we still have these same people around us. Like, we're still always around these same exact people. But it's always been easy to still stay in our own lanes. Like, it has never been hard. We don't have those type of people around us. But it is safe to say that it was the whole time we could have just been like this. Like, situations, you know, certain situations are L's, certain situations are lessons. But if you take emotions and the nigga out the picture, there is no fucking way that two women can't get along, because that's all that you have there at that point. Like, if you take those two major factors out, I feel like, and yeah, like all type of shit because of emotions would arouse. And once you took that shit out, it's like, and I'm not saying y'all have to be best friends going out to the club every week. You know, just cordial.
Be able to talk. You should when it's time, when it's necessary. You know, that's really all this about.
It shouldn't be a hesitation when you need to call, to get the children. You know, some women even be scared to do that, like hesitant on inviting the kids somewhere and stuff like that. All of that shit is petty, and it definitely can be overlooked for the sake of them children. So, yeah, if you like this episode, we're going to be back though, y'all. Like, you know, maybe a few seasons from now. Once we move and we let y'all know how everything turns out. Once I move, we'll let you know how everything turns out. But if you like this episode, leave comments in the comment section on Apple Podcasts. And that's it. Bye. Bye.
Get on your marathon and run it till it's over with.
This is the Mamathon Podcast.
I know a place we can go where you can be yourself and you ain't gotta worry.